How's it going, YouTube? Little channel update today. Let me get where I'm a little better in the sun here. I got a couple of projects that I'm going on. I'm currently unemployed. The last guy where I was fixing the jet skis and ATVs, that kind of washed out. Guy didn't really know how to run a business. I'm not going to mention any names or anything like that. So I'm going to show you a couple things. Remember my whip? We're currently working on the brakes. And actually the whole front suspension, the control arms and everything's getting replaced, but I painted the calipers. And that's not really important, you know, as far as the looks, because wheels are going to be covered up with hubcaps. Might not see very much anyway, but this is for two reasons. Number one, Minnesota rust. And you know, I'm kind of testing out this paint to see how well it does, like in the salt and stuff, because, well, you just don't want these parts rusting away. I couldn't get these pins out right here. These are the guide pins anyway. So if I was going to do this right, I would replace these pins, grease them, and, well, I can't get them out. So I'm just going to put pads on here and call it a day. And then I'll either order some calipers or I'll pull these off and have to torch the pins or something. I don't know. But we'll get this done correctly. In the meantime, I can also see if there's like any, you know, leaky coming from the bleeder or the banjo bolt around the seal, because it'll wash the paint away. And all these little black dots, they were rust. This is a product called Por 15, and it converts rust to primer. Looks pretty good. That's been on there for a couple months. You might have remembered this side looked really bad. Now it looked like embarrassed Dalmatian, but it did convert all of the rust to primer. So yeah, I'm just trying to prolong the inevitable, I guess. So it's all over the place. Yeah, I did this one too. Yeah, it does kind of look cool. The Por 15 works. I got this project coming up, although that bed's not really worth saving. I got my toolbox back in its trailer. I got a lift for working on lawnmowers for my troubles, for helping that guy. But this is going to kind of be my future workshop here. Workbench on one side, toolbox on the other, and I still need more space for tools. And got cases hanging out. What I'm working on today, oh, I just got done with that mower. This was stored for a really long time. I had to pressure wash it off, clean it up. And it has one of these Chinese engines on it. Fortunately, there was no gas damage in the carburetor. These Chinese carburetors are known for, if you store gas, you know, over the winter, you can probably guarantee you're going to take this to your mechanic and have him clean the carburetor or replace the carburetor. A lot of times they just replace them because they're so cheap and you save time. But there was nothing wrong with this. There was a little bit of rust in the carburetor, and that was it. The gas tank was empty. The oil looks new, so I put some gas in it and fired right up. I mowed my grass with it. But here's the thing. You guys know that old Honda that I like to mow my grass with? Well, you can kind of see the size of my yard here. And there's that little square in front of my trailer. And then clear back to the manure pit. Well, that's not our manure pit. That's I don't know. The septic sprays into that, and I think they call it a leach pool or something. But anyway, mowed that, and then around the shed, and then just on the other side of that propane tank is where you can almost see a line right about right there, where I quit mowing, and then the neighbor cuts at a different height or whatever. So usually I can get all of this grass. It takes me about an hour with less than a tank of gas on that old Honda. Thing is very fuel efficient. This one ran out of gas before I got done. So the Chinese mower is not as fuel efficient as the Japanese one. Now, I don't know, this might have a smaller gas tank than my Honda. Yeah, it's almost out again. I poured what was left in my gas can in here. But it is what it is. It's not my mower. It does run, and I'm just making a comparison. But here's what I'm working on today. I got this old microwave. It's sitting in the shop of my neighbor out at my property at the other place. And we're trying to sell some stuff so she can get some money. She needs to, pay utilities and things like that. So this thing was in pretty rough shape, although it did work. But you can see all this rust. Now, even if it does work, people are just going to pass by this. They're not going to pay anything. So I cleaned it up, and I'm going to paint. Oops, there's a little bubble right there that I missed. But we'll get some appliance paint and touch this up. And the thing I want to show you is funny is I used a Walmart bag to mask this off with. Yeah, so now it's got Walmart on both sides. Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. But, the bag was at hand, and the inside looks okay. It's kind of grungy in there, but nothing a good cleaning won't fix. And then, I don't know, there's some crud in the corner I gotta try to get out with a Q-tip or something, some lacquer thinner. But this should get some get some appliance paint. I'm not going to do anything about the cream where it's been sun bleached. It actually did that very uniformly, except for right here on this side. But I'm just going to leave that. It doesn't look really all that bad. Once it's all cleaned up and everything. Well, anyway, I am applying for jobs. I'm not hoping for much right now. There's jobs everywhere, but there's only so many things that I will do. Like, I'm never going to work at a fast food restaurant again. I hate cooking food, and I don't want to get paid minimum wage to cook food. So, I'm trying out for another mechanic position and auto parts counter. That doesn't sound like a bad gig. So anyway, it's Derek Whidden signing off.